If you've ever Googled river cruising and been overwhelmed by all the options that you find, then this video is for you because I'm going to cover everything that you need to know about river cruising to make the right decision when booking your next river cruise. This is part 1 of my River Cruising 101 series, and in this part we're going to cover the river cruise lines ranging from budget options to ultra luxury, and I'm going to go over who would be the ideal clients for each of these river cruise companies. Look for my other upcoming videos in this series that are going to cover the rivers of Europe, life on board, how to find and book the perfect river cruise for you, what happens during high and low water, and the most frequently asked questions about river cruising. After watching all the videos in this series, you'll be well equipped to pick the perfect river cruise for yourself. And as a bonus, I'm also going to be creating a video about the wonderful Christmas market season in Europe. If you're interested in the Christmas market sailings, then look for that video from me soon. First, my name is Melissa Baum. I'm the River Cruise Queen. I own a travel agency in Ontario, and I help Americans and Canadians book the most amazing river cruise vacations. Please give this channel a like and a follow if you want more river cruising tips, tricks, and deals. Also, go ahead and hit that notification button to be notified of the upcoming videos in this series. River cruising is one of the best ways to visit Europe, and the beauty of it is that you only have to unpack your suitcase one time. If you're moving between locations, you can head up to the top deck or one of the observation lounges with your favorite beverage and just enjoy the scenery floating by. No need for trains or bus transfers. Imagine traveling all the way from Amsterdam to Bucharest, passing through 8 countries without having to pack and unpack your suitcase. That truly is the beauty of river cruising. Another huge benefit of river cruising is the fact that it is as close as you can come to an all-inclusive package in Europe. Canadians and Americans love those all-inclusive vacations in the Caribbean because they're easy and they're all-inclusive. With river cruising, most companies include all of your meals, your accommodations, your transfers, your beer and wine during mealtime, as well as at least one tour per port. So you can essentially pay for your trip prior to leaving and never have to pay another penny. So now that I have you excited about the prospects of river cruising, let's get into some of the major river cruise lines that are available for people in North America to book and who would be the most suited to sail on those river cruise companies. If you're at this point in considering your river cruise, chances are that you've already Googled the word river cruising and you've come up with a lot of options. Of course, we all know the household name Viking River Cruises because they do such a good job at advertising, but what about all those other companies? Who do you choose and who is best for you? I'm going to provide just a high-level overview of each of the companies, but look for future videos of mine that are going to go into more depth about each of the options that you have. Let's start with the obvious one first, and that is Viking River Cruises. This is definitely a household name, and when you think about river cruising, likely Viking is the name that comes to mind. They've done such a phenomenal job with their river cruising product, and they have the largest fleet sailing on the rivers of Europe. Viking has recently expanded into the ocean cruise market where they're exceeding at providing excellent customer service, and now they've dived into the world of expedition cruising, heading to remote places like Antarctica. Viking is definitely a thinking person cruise. If you're someone who likes art, architecture, culture, and history, then Viking Cruises could be the perfect river cruise line for you. They even go as far as curating a reading list for their guests prior to their embarkation so that they can be ready for the destinations that they're sailing in. In the Viking program, you're going to get all of the typical inclusions with river cruising, such as your meals, your beer and wine during mealtime, and they're going to include one excursion per port. This excursion is always going to be a classic walking tour in the location that you're visiting, and it's going to focus on those things like art, architecture, history, and culture. Within that, they're going to have gentle walking groups available as well as more active walking groups, so you can pick which group suits you. Viking does have additional excursions that you can choose, but these are going to be at an additional cost to the cruise. So if you're interested in other experiences, then you're going to have to pay for them. So the typical age of guests on board Viking are definitely that boomer generation, with the average age being around 65 to 70 years old. So it is a little bit more of an older crowd on board. With that being said, if your vision of a river cruise includes learning a lot about the destination that you're visiting with like-minded people, then absolutely Viking would be a really good choice for you. The next company we're gonna cover is Amma Waterways. Amma meaning love, and of course this company brings a lot of love to the tours that they provide. If you haven't heard of Amma Waterways, that's okay. They're definitely a bit of a smaller company, but they have been operating in Europe for over 20 years, and I love that they are a family-owned company. Amma really focuses on health and wellness for their guests while they're on board, and they do this by providing a wellness program that includes an onboard gym, as well as an activity director that will lead things like morning yoga and stretching, HIIT classes, weightlifting, as well as other active excursions such as hiking and bike rides. To go along with this, Amma also offers choices of excursions at each port. Typically, you'll have between 2 and 4 excursions to choose from, and they're going to fall into categories such as classic walking tours, the same as Viking, where you're going to cover art, architecture, history, and culture, but then they're going to have some more active options such as bike rides and hikes, and then some more experiential opportunities such as wine tastings and food tours. Amma is also a great cruise for foodies, and that is for a couple of reasons. First off, they have a chef's table on board, and guests are able to make a reservation for a special evening where they get to enjoy a carefully crafted tasting menu that's going to take you on a gastronomical journey. They are also a part of 2 special culinary societies, and because of this, they are known to have an extremely high quality of food on board the ship. So if you're someone who's a bit more active, you want to have choices in your excursions, and you really like good quality food, then absolutely consider Amma Waterways for your river cruise. Let's move on to my next company, and that's Avalon Waterways. If you have ever done a land tour with Globus or Cosmos, you're gonna know the quality of this river cruise line because they are part of the Globus family of brands. Like Amma Waterways, Avalon Waterways thinks that their guests should have as much choice as possible in their river cruise to make it their own. They have created a program called Active and Discovery River Cruising, and that brings a ton of choices to the included excursions at each port. They have some really unique opportunities such as a blind wine tasting in a dark, or kayaking on some of the rivers. They really do have a ton of active and hands-on experiences for their guests to participate in. Because of these active and discovery options, Avalon Waterways is certainly attracting younger and younger clients, and you'll see this on board in their clientele. Another thing that sets Avalon apart is their panorama suites. What they have done is they've removed the balconies from the rooms, and they've given the space back to the inside of the stateroom. They've then faced the beds towards the window, and they've created a large 7-foot sliding door that opens up to bring the views right inside your room. There's nothing better than laying on your bed watching the scenery float by with Avalon Waterways. So if you're someone who is on the active side, you want a lot of really hands-on experiences, and you love the idea of being able to laze around in your bed watching the beautiful scenery, then absolutely Avalon Waterways could be the perfect choice for you. The next company we're going to cover is Emerald River Cruises, and this cruise line is considered the budget option to its sister brand Scenic River Cruises that we'll cover later, but don't let that fool you because this company delivers top-notch services that you would expect with river cruising in Europe. Like both Amma and Avalon Waterways, Emerald River Cruises offers you choices when it comes to excursions at each port, allowing you to custom tailor your trip the way that you want it. On top of that, they have added value to their cruises, including transfers, as well as they include all of their gratuities. So there really are no extra costs when you book with Emerald Waterways. Another thing I love about them is they have some of the best deals out there if you are willing to pay for your cruise in advance. They do this by offering big discounts on their cruise fares, but they require full payment for the cruise 10 months in advance of the sailing. So if this is something that you can manage, then absolutely consider Emerald River Cruises for your next cruise. Just a quick recap, these last 4 companies that I just talked about are all very comparable in their services, their experiences, and their cost. Viking River Cruises would be great for older guests who are interested in art, architecture, history, and culture, and who don't need to have choices in their excursions. Amma Waterways is perfect for those guests who want to be active, have choices of excursions, and really are those foodie types. Avalon Waterways is perfect for anyone who is active and wants choice, and also loves the idea of having a beautiful bed facing the river. And Emerald Waterways is overall a great company, an amazing experience, and are great for someone who's hoping to scoop up a deal. Now let's take a look at some companies that take the all-inclusive experience to the next level, truly including everything. These are considered 5-star ultra-luxury cruise lines, and they might be perfect for you. Let's first take a look at Uniworld River Cruises. This cruise line is truly an over-the-top, luxurious experience. Let's first take a look at their aesthetic on board their river cruises, because this is what truly makes them the most unique. Each ship is uniquely designed, and each room on each ship is uniquely designed. If you're someone who's interested in interior design, in architecture, or in art, then this is going to be a visual experience for you. They filled each room with lots of textures, colors, different fabrics, as well as artwork. And it really is a stunning visual journey as you move through all of the spaces. On top of that, they take the all-inclusive experience to the next level, including things such as butler service, laundry service, all of your alcoholic drinks, your meals, your transfers, pretty much everything that you can think of is included in their cruise. Like some of the other river cruise companies, they also offer choices in their excursions, so you'll be able to custom make your trip into exactly how you want it. One other thing that really sets them apart is their Generations program, which focuses on multi-generational sailings. They offer a certain number of these on select sailings each year, and they welcome families on board with young children, teenagers, parents, and grandparents to get to enjoy river cruising together. And they bring on special programming for the youth and teens to make sure that they're engaged and entertained along the river cruise. It really would be a magical experience for families to have together. So if you're someone who loves art and interior design, you're someone who wants to be pampered with butler service, or you're interested in sailing with your multi-generational family, then Uniworld is absolutely a river cruise company you should consider. Now let's talk about Scenic River Cruises, and this is the sister company to Emerald River Cruises. This Australian-owned company has been providing high-level service to their clients for years, and you will be wowed by the level of service provided on board. In fact, they say they take everything to the nth degree. So if you're looking for a river cruise where they go above and beyond, then absolutely consider Scenic River Cruises. On board their ship, you're going to get pampered by butler service. It's going to be a fully all-inclusive experience, including all of your alcohol, your gratuities, your transfers, your laundry, anything that you can think of is going to be included. They also offer choices and excursions at each port, so you're going to be able to custom make your trip into what you want it to be. On board their luxury spaceships, you're going to find lots of choices, including choices in restaurants, a pool, an onboard spa, and fitness center. You absolutely will not be disappointed with the level of service that they provide. If you're looking for an adult-only 5-star experience, then Scenic River Cruises may be perfect for you. There are some other river cruise lines that are considered budget options that you may have come across if you Googled river cruising, such as Croisière Europe and Pier 1. These river cruises may be perfectly suitable for some guests, but others may find the services on board lacking or not up to the expectations that they had. When considering one of these options, just keep in mind these cruise lines serve guests all over the world, including Europe, and often the cruises have multiple languages on board, including French, German, and English. Because of this, you'll typically have to listen to announcements in multiple languages, and you may even have to go on tours where the guide speaks multiple languages. This isn't necessarily a barrier for some people, but for other guests, it may not be ideal. Well, I hope that you found all that information really helpful and that you have a bit better of an understanding of the options that are available to you for river cruising. Hopefully that helped you scratch a couple options off your list to make your planning process a little bit easier. After listening to this video, do you have a favorite company or a company that you think suits you best? Or have you sailed before and you have a company that you absolutely love? Please let us know in the comments below. I would love to hear about your experiences on different river cruise lines. I have a really helpful guide called River Cruising 101. If you're interested in that, I'll leave the link below so that you can click on that and go ahead and get that guide. And once again, my name is Melissa Baum. I'm the River Cruise Queen. I help Canadians and Americans book the most amazing river cruise vacations. If you're interested in river cruising, give me a like and a follow and subscribe to the channel to get notifications of when new videos come up. Happy river cruising. Bye!